When they first heard about this thing, it was crew expendable. The next time they sent in Marines, they were expendable too. What makes you think they're gonna care about a bunch of lifers who found God at the ass end of space? You really think they're gonna let you interfere with their plans for this thing? They think we're crud, and they don't give a fuck about one friend of yours that's died. Not one.
Junk food supper.
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 Junk food
Junk
supper.
food supper.
Junk food supper.
Junk food supper.
Junk food
Welcome
supper.
to Junk Pod Supper. This is the #1 podcast where we get together and we talk about weirdo movies that we have found on cable TV and in video stores possibly, and on the internet and on YouTube, and in the Alien quadrilogy for DVD pack sometimes. This is Parker and I'm joined by Sean. How are you doing, Sean?
Oh, hey, I'm here. I'm doing all right. What's up, Bowman?
Oh, nothing much. Do you have that Alien quadrilogy?
I got the Blu-ray box set with its
Oh,
cool foil cover that all week long, because it's been sitting out like in front of my TV, if I turn the corner into my living room just right, I get startled as hell that I think there's a real live alien in my living room.
That sounds horrifying. So then, okay, well, I sent you a message about like where to find the various cuts of the movie, but you had them all along. You got the assembly cut right there with you.
It was assembled for me, many moons ago. It's been sitting on my shelf, and then, you sent a real nice message. Then I gave you the old Kyle from Kentucky treatment, too, that I think I just kind of ignored your message for multiple days.
This is what you're into now. This is your modus operandi.
Yeah, it's my new talk style. Is silence.
Silence, yeah.
Radio silence.
Well, I think it'll catch on with the kids.
Yeah.
All these kids are pieces of shit.
Kevin, that's not nice.
Uncalled for. Highly unnecessary.
Yeah, highly. What about you? What's new in Bowman's world?
Nothing whatsoever. Well, actually, one thing. I'm very excited. There's this comic book called Slacker Comics. It's from the 90s. I forget, Slave Labor Graphics put it out, I guess, a long time ago, 30, 40 years ago.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, Slave Labor is good.
Yeah, the Johnny the Homicidal Maniacs people.
Yeah, same company. They're based in like San Jose or something, I think.
Yeah.
And I loved this comic as a kid. Absolutely loved it. It's kind of like a mix of like Hate, like the Pete Bag comic mixed with like Clerks and Mallrats kind of a thing. Like a lot of punk rock bands get mentioned in it, stuff like that. And as a kid, I only had like 7 issues or something because very independent comic book based in California. Very, not very popular.
The kind of cool comic book that like your hipster neighbor might have a poster of on his wall, a la a Blue Velvet poster.
Could be.
Okay.
I apologize again, Justin. I didn't mean it.
Man, you start apologizing now because I think we've got some favors to ask of the man.
I think so. We got to get him. We got to get him to do a podcast with us.
Anyhow, you love this comic.
Love this comic as a kid. And the entire run was like 18 issues, and I only had like maybe 7 or 8 of them. And I've held on to them. And over the years, I've gathered a few more here and there. They're very hard to find. I found like 5 more of them one time in San Luis Obispo at this place, Nemo's, or maybe it's called Captain Nemo's. It's a very good comic book shop.
Oh yeah, I like that store. It's got it's kind of like a maze-like interior where you'll like find yourself in a weird attic section that's all like country records from the 40s, and you're like, how did I get here?
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. That's the place where I found 3 copies of the Van Nuys Boulevard soundtrack.
That's nearly enough copies, I would say. You're on your
2
way
of
to
them.
having enough, yeah. Oh, wow, you did. Okay.
I had to get 2 of them, just in case something happened to one. But yeah, so I've been, like, I challenged myself to never use eBay or the internet to get the rest of these. Like, I wanted to find them in the wild. And then I went to a comic book store. I think we talked about this a little bit last week, maybe off the air. Like just trying to find like some old like reprints of EC comics or whatever like this. And like I came to the realization, I went to the two different comic book stores in my area.
Yeah.
Like I came to the realization that comic book stores are basically just like Funko Pop stores now.
Oh yeah, I mean that's been like that for a decade, I feel like, but especially right now.
Yeah, like they had some back issues, but it was like they were very unorganized, and it was like mostly just like Batman and Deadpool comics. So yeah, so I was like, well, I'm like, unless I go back to San Luis Obispo and like just pray that somebody else died and left their 90s comic book stash to Nemo again, I'm never gonna find these. So I finally broke down and I got the last couple, and I'm very excited. I feel like it's just like a comic that has basically lost to time pretty much. Like the guy who did the comic is on Instagram, but he doesn't really post anything about it. Like he just kind of draws other stuff now and like kind of lost to time. So I'm glad I have it all.
Nobody's posted a CBZ version of this on archive.org yet. No digital scans of it.
Not that I've ever seen, but I mean, I got to have the real ones anyway. But I don't think I'll actually look because sometimes I know like the main places where I get comic books on the internet never has it, but like they're like mostly like your Batman and your Deadpool comics, I guess. But maybe archive.org, but I doubt it. Like I mean, I can never find anything about this comic ever on the internet, and I think part of that probably is because it has a very generic name, Slacker Comics. Like you're probably just going to find the Clerks comic if you search for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Or hate and all that stuff.
Yeah. So that's probably part of it, but I'm glad to have it. I like this comic book. It makes me happy. It reminds me of being 15. It was a great success.
It's funny that you mentioned that because this past weekend, the wife and I were at a place called Frank & Son's Collectible Show. And I was thinking, man, I got to bring Bowman here. I don't know why I've never brought Bowman here. Do you know about that place, Frank & Sons? Have you heard about this?
Well, Frank & Sons are so sick.
Exactly, yep. They are the sickest.
No, I've never heard of this.
It's basically like an indoor swap meet kind of a thing. It's there's like a warehouse out in a suburb of LA called City of Industry, which looks exactly what it sounds like. It's just all warehouses and like train tracks and stuff. But if you know which warehouses to go into, I guess there's some cool stuff in those. And one of them is this collectible show. It's been there since like the late 80s. And it's basically just all the people that you would see at like San Diego Comic-Con selling stuff, but all the other weeks of the year. They're only open like Wednesday nights and then Saturday days and Sunday days. But if you make your way over there, it's pretty intense. It's just like vendor after vendor. And, there's a couple guys that'll be like Funko Pop guys, but usually they'll specialize in something kind of cool. Like there's a guy that has only non-sports cards, and he's got like real deep cut stuff. He's got like every variety of Garbage Pail Kid that was ever imagined. I picked up a pack of these troll themed Garbage Pail Kid type cards from Topps. But he's got your wacky packages, he's got your Jaws cards, all your Alf cards that you would need. But just vendor after vendor, and including a ton of comic vendors. And these motherfuckers with comic books, they're looking to move these things. You know what I mean? Like they are not moving, and these guys will just give you like a whole box of comics for like $2.
Yeah, that's the way it always was when I was like a little kid going to comic book stores. Like you could like look through the long boxes and there'd be like just issue after issue of like old comics for 10 cents. And now we're like back in like the Death of Superman style, like speculative markets or something. And like every fucking issue, like as soon as it comes out, gets marked up like $3, like, and they're already $5 for every new issue. I don't understand these comic books nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really hang with current comic readership. Like, I don't even know how that works. Like, I feel like that's such an expensive hobby and would be so annoying. And you get, as much as I love comics, the value proposition, like I'm getting what 10 minutes of entertainment for $5. It's like I don't know about that. I can get like a lot more elsewhere for cheaper, but I do love them, and I love that you can get older ones for cheap. And Frank and Sons, I think, should be a place that you check out next time you come down here.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Hopefully I get to come down there at some point soonish. I kind of want to do that Universal, but I got to see how work shakes out.
Oh yeah, the Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh yeah, although there's not really very many good houses this year. Have you seen the lineup? They're all kind of
I didn't see it. Should I pull it up?
Yeah, pull it up. Let's see what it is. Like, I think they're all like kind of dumb. If I remember, they're like, let's see what we got.
Right.
Let's see what we got. Halloween.
Quiet Place.
Okay, Quiet Place is all right.
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Yeah, Ghostbusters. The Weekend is back. There's a Texas Chainsaw one. That's cool.
I like a Texas Chainsaw one.
And then Universal Bloodlines, which is join Saskia Van Helsing and the Bride of Frankenstein as they battle Dracula's daughter. That could be all right. But Insidious the Further.
Terror Tram, Enter the Blumhouse.
Yeah. I don't know. I like some of those Blumhouse guys, but like the last time we were there, I think the Terror Tram was all like Chuckied out. I'm like, give me some Chucky,
I will say there is a Lucha Libre monster theme area. That sounds fun.
I did see that. That does seem fun, yeah.
Yeah, you'll be just walking down the street and have to deal with a Hurricane Rana from some unseen assailant.
That'd be all right. Just walking around and someone hits you with the 619.
Yeah.
I think maybe
some masked Avenger jumps off a building and gives you a plancha.
I think maybe the Florida Universal one has even worse ones, maybe. Maybe that was what I was looking at. But yeah, still, like, The Weeknd, like, what do we need him for? He doesn't have shit to do with Halloween. Get him out of here.
Yeah, and I didn't see any mention of Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, not at all.
On this list, yeah. So, but maybe Halloween Horror Nights is not the only game in town. Maybe this Knott's Scary Farm might be worth a shot one of these days.
Yeah, Knott's Scary Farm was very fun the time me and Jennifer went many years ago. And then also, like Universal's opening that 24/7 all year round. Well, I don't know if it's 24/7, but they all year round Halloween Horror Nights in Vegas. So maybe that's where they're putting all the good shit. Like maybe that's where Freddy's going to live.
You're telling me I can't do this at 4 a.m. on a Tuesday?
You probably can. It's Vegas, but I know that it's all year round. It may not be 24/7.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Knott's Scary Farm. I've still never done it, so.
Oh, that could be the jam then. It was pretty fun.
I just want to get spooked, man.
Yeah. I think when we were there, it might have been the last year for the Bill and Ted show. No, it was something like the Bill and Ted show, where it was like they did like some weird like musical show, but it was all just like dick jokes and like making fun of gay people and stuff. It was pretty wild.
Classic Universal.
Yeah, I can't believe that they did that they had that Bill and Ted show doing that up until like 3 years ago or something.
Yeah, well, it is based closely on the movies where they say the F word every other sentence.
Well, it was the style at the time.
Sure, yeah. And it's the style in San Dimas, that's a very bigoted part of town.
Well, yeah, that's probably true. Probably still is like that in San Dimas. I've
been
to
high school football. Okay. Yeah, but their high school football, man.
Top notch.
They rule.
Mm-hmm. It's true. Well, did you get into anything crazy? Did you go to see any movies or anything?
Didn't see any movies. Just saw non-sports cards at the old Frank and Sons collectible show. That was the big excitement. I will say also at Frank and Sons, they've recently added a cool McDonald's paraphernalia museum that's got all these like McDonald's displays from like the 70s and stuff.
Oh, okay. I was wondering where you were. I saw you hanging out with Ronald McDonald and like those little fry men and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got to be honest. The thing that I was most excited for, because they had like pretty cool stuff, you know, like full size Ronald McDonald statues and stuff that you would have at the restaurants. You know, I'm sure that stuff goes for a lot of money. But the thing that blew my mind was something that had just been burned into my memory banks for decades, and I just had never thought about it. But at McDonald's, they used to have cookies in these little, kind of like Girl Scout cookies, cardboard box style packaging that would then be laid into this wooden cabinet that said cookies on it. And I guess because I loved cookies so much as a kid, and you know, every time we would go to McDonald's, I would stare at that cookie box and think about it. It was one of those things like I saw it and I'm like, oh my God, it's the cookie. Like I had like a real reaction. Like I was freaking out about this damn cookie box. Couldn't believe it. So go see that as well if that sounds exciting to you.
Okay. I feel like I vaguely remember those cookies.
Yeah, the cookies themselves I don't think were very good. I think the chocolate chip ones tasted pretty much like stale Chips Ahoy. You know, they weren't that good, but the packaging goes a long way.
Okay. I'll check that out one day. But is there anything you like checking out in terms of Japanese sports, Sean Byron?
Well, that's a strange question to ask, in particular because I do have something prepared that is exactly in line with this just off-the-cuff inquiry. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do like to watch some things that relate to Japanese sports. In particular, I like to watch sumo from time to time. Did you know that about me, Bowman? I'm a sumosman.
I did know that about you.
I love these sumos, you know?
Now, what do you like about these guys?
Well, I like their girth. I like their length. I like all their dimensions. And I like the way these guys smack the shit out of each other in this tiny little ring for our enjoyment. And so I thought it might be fun for us, for this first segment, to watch some highlights from the most recent Grand Sumo tournament, the opening day of it, day one of the July Basho that just took place in Nagoya about a month ago. Now, you have not seen these matches, right, Bowman?
That is correct. I'm not a sumo man. Like, I mean, I recognize that it exists, and I have seen a lot of Yokozuna matches in the WWF.
Oh, that counts. Yeah, that's exactly the same thing. You've probably seen some of those novelty sumo suits that people get for their birthdays or whatever, and they wrestle their friends in the backyard.
Yeah, those things were a staple on the Spike network in like 2004. They were on every show. Every episode of Mansers had those things.
Yeah, exactly. If you had a low budget TV studio talk show, at some point those sumo suits are coming out. You know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think there will be any actual sumo suits in this, but I do think it will be fun as we go through these matches. If you like, try and guess who's going to win. You don't know these guys really probably at all. You might not know any of them. You certainly don't know the results of the tournament. I do know the results, so I'm going to abstain from betting, but it'll be fun to see how you do on this.
Okay. Yeah, I'll guess based on the vibe, I guess, I get from these guys.
Yeah,
and
the intensity and their glare. You know, check that glare for intensity.
Oh, I always do.
All right, so the way that I found these highlights is I searched on YouTube for Grand Sumo Highlights July, and it was the first thing that came up. This one was uploaded just a few days ago, but generally NHK doesn't leave the old tournaments up, so you do have to kind of get them from just kind of people that repost them, but hopefully it'll still be on YouTube by the time you search for it. If not, hit me up. I'll send you a copy of these highlights. They're about 27 minutes long, and so I guess we'll just dive right in with the first day of July Basho from Nagoya. I guess on the count of three, we'll hit play, right?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Perfect.
All right. So these are like just condensed highlights. You do get to see the full match, but you miss all of the pomp and circumstance of sumo. Like their opening ceremonies are really long, and there's a ton of rice being thrown and all this stuff. You don't get that, which I do like that stuff. but you get all the action, in less than 30 minutes. So it's cool that NHK provides these.
Mm-hmm.
That
So
guy,
what did
right?
it?
Go ahead.
Oh no, please go ahead.
Well, that guy right there is Teruno Fuji. He's the Yokozuna, so he's the highest ranked of all these sumos. But he's getting older and has been struggling. He's withdrawn from the last few tournaments midway due to injury.
And how do you decide the Yokozuna? Is it like a tournament? Like, did he win last year's tournament?
It's not just based on like winning a single tournament. It's based on your record over a long period of time. So you got to establish, multiple victories and a certain winning percentage and stuff like that.
Okay. I'm going with Chio Shoma here.
Yeah, we got Chio Shoma versus Takara Fuji.
Yeah, his hair is better. It looks like somebody already beat up Takara Fuji like before the match.
Yeah.
It doesn't bode well.
Yeah, he's got some battle damage. He's in round 2 of Mike Tyson's Punch Out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's Little Mac with the bruises already. We got the fans here at Nagoya Basho. Old as ever, which is what I love about sumo. Oldest fans in sports. In fact, me and my wife do a thing where we try and spot the oldest fan in the crowd. Oh, I think what we saw before was not an actual match. That was just letting us know that those combatants, I believe, withdrew.
Okay.
So you just got to pick somebody, purple or blue.
Purple.
Purple.
I like purple guy.
All right, you picked purple.
He's got a better tan.
So they're grappling here, Oh man.
So
what
does
happened
this
to
mean?
purple?
Did he lose? Because the other guy fell out too.
Yeah, no, he won, actually. Purple won with a Urakiri force out.
Oh, yeah.
It can be tricky to see, but it is whoever touches the dirt outside of the ring first will be losing. So sometimes at the edge it can be close. So you got Kageyaki versus Bushozan. What do you think about these guys?
I mean, I think the record shows that Kageyaki is going to win. He's like 11-6 or something, and the other guy's like 7-6. Like,
yeah, I think those are the scores from the last tournament, and so yeah, those give you a good idea of kind of how these guys are doing.
Yeah, I'm going to try to go from vibes more often than not, but those guys were two pretty similar looking dudes, so I had to go with the numbers.
Yeah. Oh man, a wedgie on the edge with a Uwatanage. Just straight up wedgied him out of the ring.
That seems unorthodox. I like the stuff that these guys are wearing because like it pushes their belly fat up.
Yeah,
and it's a pretty cool look.
Yeah, the big Moashi belts that they got. Sometimes the Moashis will come apart a little bit if they're going like real strong, and I've never seen anything untoward, but I'm always worried that some dude's dick is just going to pop out.
Hell yeah. I'm going with Endo for this one because that's it reminds me of weed,
Oh yeah, you like to smoke the Endo. Oh, Endo allowed Roga to gain a shallow grip, and Roga, the veteran, is able to take advantage of Endo. You can see part of his own Moashi came off there. I don't know why they've got this weird thing on their belts that's like an extra set of, I don't even know what those are, tassels, those weird tassels.
Yeah.
Waka Takakage versus Takara Fuji.
I'm going with Takara Fuji. His record is way worse, like significantly worse, like ridiculously worse. But I like his hair. I like he just looks like a nice, pleasant man. He's kind of way less fat than a lot of these guys.
He looks like a Sleepy Jones, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but he woke up from his slumber there. Look at that.
Oh, okay.
Some fancy footwork. And Waka Takahage can't even compete.
All right. I'm up 2 points to 1 here.
Keep your eyes peeled in this audience for people over 100 years old. You'll find a few.
I'll do it.
If we're lucky, there might be a match finish that involves one of them getting crushed by a sumo.
So all these guys have like the same haircut. Is that like you have to have long hair up in a bun? Is that like kind of like a rule, or is that just like coincidence?
Yeah, if you can. I think they start growing it when they reach a certain rank, and so for a little while it won't be long enough to put the bun in. But then,
Okay.
yeah, it's all kind of standardized how they look.
And I'm going with Hokoto Fuji here because he looks super depressed, and I think that he could really use a pick me up by winning.
Yeah, man. What's going on with him? Strong.
I like referee guy.
Oh, you like the Gyoji and his cool blue kimono?
Yeah, like that's super cool. Like a lot of these folks are like just dressed like, I mean, out in the audience, like just like fairly casually. Like I see some,
Yeah, some t-shirts.
yeah, like t-shirts, polos, and stuff like that. So I like that this guy's going all out, wearing some cool stuff. Oh my God, has this guy Asanoyama?
Yeah, he withdrew from the last tournament. That's why he's got 0 wins in the last tournament.
Yeah, he's 0-0 and 15. So I guess I got to go with not him.
You like Nishigigi?
Yeah, that's my guy. He's the guy in black?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to keep track of like the guys I'm picking, but they're all just like fat Japanese dudes with the same haircut, wearing the same thing, so it's like very difficult.
And it is, it's rapid. You see these matches are like 5 seconds,
Yeah, that too. Okay, so I think I lost that one.
Yeah.
Well, that's a real shame.
I love watching this. So basically the way that it works is it's a 15-day tournament every 2 months, and then they take, the intervening time off until, 2 months later, there's another 15 days. And it's great for like, mealtime or when you just need to kill 30 minutes because it's like nonstop action. It's never boring. And it's always there for you. Ichi Yamamoto versus Midori Fuji. So Midori Fuji, he's one of my favorite guys, one of the smallest guys in sumo, but still very powerful.
Okay, then I'm going with him.
All right, let's root for Midori Fuji here.
Oh yeah, this dude's tiny.
Yeah. Oh, look at that smackdown.
What happened here?
He got Ichi Yamamoto off balance and just smacked him in the chin. And so, since his hands touched down, he's out.
Oh, okay, I got you. That's
The
a
only-
small man.
The only part of your body that can touch the ground is your feet, Anything else, you're out.
Okay.
Shodai and Tamawashi, even records, 7 and 8 in the last tournament.
I'm going with Tamawashi. He's like an older dude, and he looks pleasant. But yeah, I think he might be like the oldest guy in the tournament so far, and
Yeah.
I respect that.
Tamawashi looks like he would run, a real upstanding restaurant.
Yeah.
And he ran the ring today.
Yeah.
A little Oshidashi frontal push out.
So do these guys ever like fall all the way off of the little pyramid?
It happens more than you would think, and it's always insane when it happens. Usually, like probably once or twice per day, you'll get like a really good fallout.
Okay. I'm going with Oshoma here.
Oh, versus Kimbozan? Wait till you
Yeah,
see the size of Kimbozan, though.
Oh no. Kimbozan just looked like he like had a 5 o'clock shadow. Like I feel like he's just not even ready. Like he's just coming in off the street.
It's weird. They used to all be clean shaven on their faces and their bodies. Not as much anymore. Some of these guys get sloppy.
Oh shit.
Oh shit, Kimbozan. You can't hang like that. So, you were right. Kimbozan failed.
Oh man, I'm doing pretty good so far.
Maybe you are a sumosman.
Maybe so. Or at least I just have. All right, what's that guy got? He's got some letters. Oh wait, I got to pick a guy.
Some money. Oh, Ryuden versus Sadanaumi.
I'm going Ryuden. He looks tough as fuck.
Right? Doesn't he looks like E Honda or something?
Yeah, he's got like just like a mean look about him.
He's a veteran. But if I'm being honest with you, I think his star is fading. Could this be a good match for Ryuden? Man, they are whipping around the ring.
Yeah, this one's lasting way longer than most.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh, Ryuden thrown by his arms.
How embarrassing! All right, well, I'll take the L on that one.
Man.
So they just hand them money like in the middle of the tournaments?
Yeah, it's weird. Like, and it's a variable amount of money, like per, not even just like per wrestler, but like per match. It's based on like sponsors giving certain prize money to whoever wins a particular match. I don't fully understand how the money ends up stacking up the way that it does, but it's Kota Shoho versus Oho in this one. Who you got?
I guess Oho. Both of these guys look real sad and upset to be there.
Yeah. But basically, if it's no-name wrestlers, you'll see they get handed no money at the end. If it's two famous guys, they might get handed a huge stack of money to whoever wins.
That's fun. Oh, no.
Ooh, that looked like a rough landing on his ankle, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, the one guy's...
crush out.
I think he's got some blood.
Yeah. This will be an issue for Oho through the entire tournament. That forehead is going to keep opening back up because they got to wrestle 15 days in a row. So there's really minimal you can do to close a cut on your forehead.
Yeah.
Takanosho versus Shona Naomi.
I'm going the first guy. I like his look. I like his vibe.
I call this guy Big Crybaby. That's been my nickname for him with the wife, just based on his face, but I do like Takasho. Yeah, we've got a new Gyoji for this. I think it's like 2 matches or so they changed the referee.
Oh, yeah.
They just got like 1 million of these guys on standby, I think.
I like these wearing like little sock feet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cute. And he's got that little fan like he's going to hit them on the butt with it, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You got Yurikiri, Takanosho.
Okay, so I lost that one.
You lost that one. And look at this guy. He's going to cry. What a crybaby. All right, this is probably the most popular wrestler, Ura, here versus Onosho. Ura is the smallest guy, but he's also very fun to watch.
Yeah, I was going to go with him because he's got like a real like smiley, happy face.
Yeah. If you do end up getting into sumo at all, like just look up a compilation of Ura's matches because they're always super entertaining. Let's see what he's got for us today.
I love that these dudes are like...
Dang.
Oh my goodness.
He got him.
That's a good one. I like that these are like Japan's like hugest men.
Yeah.
Like these are like just dudes that like I see at the gas station all the time currently, you know?
Yeah. These guys are professionally fat though. But yeah, Ura, man. Countering like a madman.
Yeah.
Can't get him out of the ring.
It's pretty good. So like what's the like the cultural or like athletic reason for them to be fat guys? Like wouldn't it stand to reason that they could also just be like big muscular dudes? Like why are they fat?
Once in a while you'll see a big muscular guy, but I think actually the fatness helps a lot in this type of wrestling in terms of being able to keep like a solid base of balance and not be toppled over.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm going Gono not Yama here.
Okay. Not a fan of Tobizaru.
No. Well, I mean, maybe I am, but like this other guy, the guy I picked, he's younger. He's probably hungry. No pun intended.
Tobizaru, according to my wife, the most handsome sumo.
Is that right?
Yeah, she likes Tobizaru. But he didn't do too good here.
No, not at all.
Your boy knocked him out.
Those good looks didn't help him.
I know. But see what I'm talking about with the chest hair on Gonoyama here? It's like, can you shave that? Can you wax that a little bit? All his back hair too? It's not right for a sumo.
Mm-mm.
So we got a little leaderboard here.
So are we going
Fuji.
back? Are we going to see all new guys after this little like halftime show, or is it like the next round?
Yeah, it's all new guys still. They're just kind of giving you the current rankings of everybody. I think we've seen all the matches now that feature the lower ranks, Magashira ranks, and now we're moving up to the Sekiwake and above, the higher ranked.
Okay, I'm going Kirishima here because he's only won once, and that's sad. He's due for a win.
Yeah, I think so. And he looks like he really wants it, right?
Yeah, and he doesn't have all this fucking back hair and chest hair like this
Yeah,
other
fucking
dude.
George the Animal Steel over here. What the fuck?
What's this guy doing? And he's got these little chicken legs. I guess all these guys
dude.
kind of do, but
If this hairy motherfucker wins, I'm not going to be satisfied.
yeah, nobody wants to see him win. Get him out of here.
Oh, you see that slap?
Yeah,
Some
these guys
mean
are going
face
at it.
slaps. It's almost a hair pull there. You got to be careful. That's not legal.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna ask like what all is legal here.
Yeah,
Did
no
I
hair
just walk
pulls, no fish hooks, no eye gouge.
Okay. Now it seemed like this guy just walked out, like he just gave up. What was going on here?
Yeah, he was positioned poorly. He kind of gave up his side, and at that point, there's really nothing you can do. If your opponent's got your side and you're on the edge like that, you might as well just hop out so you don't get thrown out, you know?
Okay.
But yeah, Kirishima, victorious.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty good at this. I should bet on this in Vegas.
I wonder if they do sumo betting. They must, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
They bet on
be
everything.
betting for everything.
Yeah. Oh, you see that one geisha in the crowd? Or actually a couple. You see those geisha with their wigs and their pale face?
No, I missed him.
You might see them on some of these replays. They got the full pancake makeup. Okay, highlight match.
Oh no, Sato. He's my guy.
Mitika
He looks
Umi.
tough. Oh, we're seeing the full body here. That helps a lot. And like their like clothes.
Yeah, you see their cool clothes.
Yeah, he's got a dragon, the guy I picked. The other guy's got like cool DNA strands or something. Like that's kind of cool actually.
Ono Sato is kind of the rising star of sumo currently. I think people are picking him to be the next Yokozuna.
Okay. Is that the guy I picked?
Yeah.
I forget
You picked
already.
well.
Okay. He's blue, I know that.
But he did not do too great here.
Fucking piece of shit.
What happened? And these old retired sumo guys outside the ring look furious about it. You see the one white dude wearing the robes?
No, I didn't see that guy.
There's a guy, there's like all these ex-sumos outside the ring, and they serve as kind of judges in cases where it's like too close to call.
Mm-hmm.
But this one guy who was like
that.
a former champion who's like, he's like Romanian or something, or, Eastern European guy, just making the meanest mugs all the time.
Do you ever see like any non-Japanese guys compete? Does that happen?
Well, a lot of these guys that you've seen so far have been Mongolian.
Oh, okay.
They're sneaky like that. But for
I
white
feel
guys,
racist against Mongolians.
For white guys, there was a white guy about, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago or something. I think he retired, who had a good run, had like a nice, 5+ year run at the top. But it's not too common.
Okay. So
in
is
the
this
lower
like
ranks, for like if you go down to like minor league level, basically, you'll see plenty.
Okay. I think I forgot to vote on who would win this one.
Oh, yeah, that happens sometimes.
So is this like an international competition then, or are there like a lot of Mongolian dudes living in Japan who just really like sumo?
Yeah, they live in Japan. I think you might have to live in Japan, but they definitely all do live in Japan, and they usually eventually adopt Japanese citizenship and take on Japanese names, all that. Got Meisei versus Takakeisho.
Yeah, I'm going with Meisei.
Oh, despite the Ozeki status of Takakeisho?
What does Ozeki mean?
It's like one level below Yokozuna.
Oh, shit.
But
His
it's
record's
okay.
not as good?
I think Takakeisho is the worst Ozeki.
Man, these guys like really just like bump heads on that first
thing. The initial Tachiai, they're always just crashing into each other.
Yeah. These guys look like they're about to pass out.
He's dizzy. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's maybe the most impressive part of all of this is how they withstand these headbutts, because 9 times out of 10, you're starting the match with just a gnarly ass headbutt.
Yeah. Man, I love the presenting of the money.
Yeah.
It's so cool. They
If
should
you-
do that in other sports.
If you ever have the time to watch like a full, day of a tournament, they stream them sometimes, or you can get illegal streams on YouTube pretty easy. The ceremony is a lot of fun. Seeing these guys like throw their rice around, and they do like a lot of like psych outs like before the match where they're just like mean mugging each other and slapping their bellies and stuff like that and trying to look tough,
I like it.
We got our little interview now, which every interview in sumo has the same answer. It's just, I'm going to try to do my best. That's the only thing they're, I think, allowed to say.
It sounds like a current day WWE promo. Like,
Yeah.
that's all they ever do. It's like, I respect you, but I have to win matches to feed my family.
All right, we got Hoshiryu here on the right versus Atama Fuji on the left. Hoshiryu, this is my favorite dude on the right.
Oh, I was picking gray guy, so we're opposing forces here.
It's a big weight advantage for Atama Fuji.
It's a pretty good one. It's a pretty long one so far.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't seen a lot of guys like grabbing each other's fat or like not a ton of slaps either. I was hoping to see some of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this day has been a lot of straight up grappling.
I just love the idea of two nearly naked men grabbing each other's fat rolls.
Yeah. In a sweltering hot arena. I mean,
Yeah.
you can tell even just regular sized humans in there are sweating their asses off. Can you imagine how sweaty these sumos must be?
Yeah, there's a lot of little fans going.
Oh, Atami Fuji pushed out my homeboy.
All right. Is it like
Man.
especially shameful if you get knocked off the pyramid?
It might be. I mean, I think it's more shameful that he lost to like a much lower ranked guy. He's probably bummed about that. I think the original idea for these dirt mounds was that sumo was outdoors, and they shaped it like this so that rain would run off of it and not collect on the wrestling surface, but it's not outdoors anymore. They just do it this way, I think, because they like to see these guys fall on their faces.
Yeah. That certainly makes sense.
Getting close to the end here. The way that they structure it is that the higher ranked guys will perform later in the day. And so it tends to get more exciting as it goes on. Here's another guy, though, that could maybe use a little wax, a little body wax. Yeah, I guess my only exposure to sumo historically, as a young person was Street Fighter, E Honda.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like the main guy in Yokozuna.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Yokozuna as well.
I'm going with Daisho, I think.
Daisho versus Kotozakura. I love the way that Kotozakura throws his rice and salt. Look at this guy.
Oh, yeah, he's pretty tough. Maybe if I had seen him mean mugging first, I would have picked him, but he had kind of a strange face in the picture they showed.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Embarrassing for him.
This is an embarrassment for all the Ozekis are losing today.
I got to tell you, I'm doing pretty good here, though.
You are? It's impressive. I feel like you should have been throwing salt before the match and giving me a mean mug.
I like the guy in the corner there. He's like kind of bored looking. The guy in green.
In the green, yeah. There's a
just
lot
like,
of fun audience watching to be had during these. All right, the big boy, Teruno Fuji, the Yokozuna versus Hirada Umi,
All right.
the Komusubi, the Shin Komusubi, we should say.
I gotta go with Hiradoumi. Because I feel like just going with the Yokozuna is a little feels like cheating.
Basic bitch pick.
Yeah.
He is an impressive looking man, though, Terunofuji, right?
Yeah. That he is. He's got like big trapezius muscles.
Frightening dude.
I feel like he's like probably like the most muscly dude that we've seen so far.
Yeah, and just naturally big. One problem is, it's not US, so I think all the heights are in centimeters and all the weights are in kilograms. So I just have to go based on my eyeballs.
Yeah. I feel like next time I watch this, I would need a calculator to like figure out what it is in metric.
There you go. Terunofuji with a Yurikiri, or is it an Oshidashi, but some kind of push out at the edge.
Yeah. I like that he held on to him too. He made sure he didn't fall off. That's very nice of him. I like this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a badass, but he's not that mean, I guess. He's got a heart of gold.
And he's got his little knees taped up. He's got bad knees from being an old guy. I respect that.
Yeah. Yeah, he had to withdraw from the last few because of those knees. They have been a problem. When you're like, 400 pounds or whatever he looks like, those knees don't last.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was day one of the July Nagoya Basho. And hopefully you now know what a sumo tournament looks like.
I do, and I liked it. I feel like I could watch this. Like
it's pretty fun, man. Like it's like I said, it's every 2 months, so it's not like you have to watch it all the time. But it is year round, which is nice. It doesn't have a specific season. And NHK puts up the highlights for free on YouTube. While the tournament's happening, 15 days in a row, you get a fun little 30-minute package.
Yeah, seems fun. I like that it kind of just goes by. Like it's not like. You're watching MMA and it's like a match between some guys you don't know is like going to be, 17 minutes long or whatever. Like,
yeah,
I like that they're in and out.
Yeah. The other cool thing is, you get to build a relationship with the various wrestlers. You get to kind of follow their arcs and see their struggles going up and down the ranks. And it's real. Like it's legit. It's not like, as much as I love pro wrestling, it's fun to see these guys succeeding purely based on their athletic merit and, rooting for them. And it's been fun. It's probably only been a couple years that I've been watching these highlights, but I've been getting real into it.
Yeah, seems like a good sport.
So yeah, so that was sumo. Go check it out on YouTube. I recommend it.
Yeah. Are they doing sumo at the Olympics? Is that a thing? Or is it only like Japanese guys?
I don't think so. I thought that they used to maybe, and they don't anymore. That's a good question. Yeah, I don't think that they do anymore.
Well, if for some reason they bring it back, we got to go in 4 years since it'll be in LA. We got to see these sumo guys.
Oh man, don't even talk about those Olympics.
They're gonna ruin your whole life.
I know. 15
million extra people in your town.
Well, it's fine. We don't have any traffic problems as it is. Things have been going so swimmingly here. But
yeah.
Oh well. As long as they don't cancel the Rose Bowl flea market that month to run some stupid track and field events. I need to not go to that flea market, but think that I will.
It does happen very early in the day. It's hard to get out there, I hear.
Yeah, it's tough. Frankensons all day long.
All day, you say?
Yeah, and it's indoors, so I don't think that they've got air conditioning, but it is indoors, so that's a step up.
Yeah, that's good. Well, all right, I like these sumo mans.
Yeah, get into it. Check out some Ura matches maybe later.
Maybe I will. One thing I won't be checking out though.
Yeah.
Is the voicemails.
Why not?
no voicemails this week.
What the fuck?
Nobody gave them to us.
Let's get those pickled icemen on the blower.
If you would like to next week, send us a voicemail, or I guess before next week so that we can hear it next week, do so at 347-746-JUNK. That's 347-746-5865, I believe. Or go to Junk for Dinner, or facebook.com/junkfordinner/ oh wait, hit the call now button. Just too many, I don't know what I'm talking about. Just find it. Find the number. Give us a call.
What the fuck?
Next week, we're going to have a normal show with us guys. So talk to us. 2 weeks, it's going to be Kevin. If you want to talk to him, ask him what's going on.
Big Dick Daddy from Cincinnati.
That's what we call him. So I guess that's that. But in the meantime, we are going to take a break.
Oh, okay. All right. We should do that then.
Yeah. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about a movie. It's called Alien 3. So stick around.
Started. 3 times the suspense.
It's here!
3 times the danger.
Run as fast as you can!
3 times the terror. Sigourney Weaver. Alien 3 starts Friday in theaters everywhere.
Welcome back to Junk Food Supper. We have tabulated all the scores.
Oh, nice. Exciting.
All the sumo wrestling scores. And I came out pretty well in this. I got them right 13 times and got them wrong 6 times.
Okay.
So, the power of vibes.
That's pretty incredible. A 2/3 winning record.
Yeah, so definitely going to Vegas next time they have one of these. Definitely voting based on vibes.
I think I mean, honestly, that's usually my approach as well. Even knowing the guys, I feel like if you look deep enough into their eyes before the match, you can tell who's going to win.
I think so, yeah. A lot of those guys looked sad. They looked depressed, downtrodden. They hadn't shaved in many days. Like, you don't want to go with those guys.
Yeah. Some of them looked like they had been, eating well leading into the match. Others, I was concerned maybe meals were being withheld based on their performance,
It could be, yeah.
That's no way to get a guy to win.
Yeah, well, some of those guys weren't getting any money afterwards, so they probably can't eat.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
Well, speaking of eating.
Oh, okay.
We got a movie up here about an alien that eats people.
Oh, it does do that, yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about Alien 3, because if you recall, I was super hyped up to pick Alien Romulus, and then I remembered that it doesn't come out until a week later, so I had to
Son of a bitch.
had to improvise. Now we're talking about Alien 3. This is an... Yeah.
That's the one that comes not immediately before Romulus, but, it's one removed.
Yeah.
I guess depending on what version of the series you adhere to, right? Like, would you consider this to be a series that includes only Aliens 1 through 4 and now also Romulus? Or what even is the Aliens series? Do AVPs count? Do those new Ridley Scott things count?
I mean, I guess it's all technically canon, but it's also wildly, tonally different. That, I mean, I guess if you as an Alien fan wanted to say that the Aliens versus Predator movies aren't canon, I don't think anybody would fight you necessarily. Or if you wanted to say the Ridley Scott movies aren't canon, and maybe that's a little less so because they're a little bit more similar and a little bit more Ridley Scott. But I feel like you can kind of write off any of these movies in your own sort of headcanon, and people probably wouldn't protest too much since this is like a really weird franchise.
It's one of the weirdest franchises when you think about it, because it's got like these multiple kind of sub franchises, but also just even within the main franchise, the fact that like each time it seems like they're hiring kind of like a new youngish director who brings like an entirely new vision to the series, even makes those movies feel very different from each other,
Yeah, absolutely. These first three, and then four as well, like very different films.
And then you layer on top of that the speculation that some people make that these all take place within the Blade Runner universe. You know about this,
Yeah.
right?
I do. Well, Wayland Yutani is mentioned in one of the Blade Runners, right? Or
Yeah, I
something?
think so. Either is it mentioned in the new one or maybe in one of the supplementary, short films or something. But yeah, there's some connection.
Yeah, or like one of the companies from Blade Runner is mentioned in the first Alien. Like, yeah, there's some overlap in there. Like, it's nothing like super overt, but yeah, it exists, which I feel like works. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like those two universes like are not too dissimilar. It seems like they do go together pretty. I mean, I guess the alien or the robots work a little bit differently in the two, but not so differently that if you want to mash them together, that it pulls you out of it, I guess.
I think they even reuse some of the computer displays from Alien in Blade Runner.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So, yeah. But yeah, it's weird. And this is one of the weirder entries in this weird series for a lot of reasons.
This is a weird movie.
That's right, Kevin.
Yeah, by far. Yeah, I said last week, I said that, this is a movie that people either love or hate. And looking at the Letterboxd scores and ratings, I was apparently pretty off on that. Like people, like by far, most people have rated this 3 and it has an average of 2.9. So I feel like most people find this to be, yeah, right in the middle somewhere, like either like mediocre or half good and half bad. It would be my guess. Maybe that's too telling of my own feelings, but
Although when you see a score like that, it does really make you wish that Letterboxd and everybody else in the world segmented this movie and all other movies where there's multiple cuts by the cuts themselves. Because I don't know, does that 3 apply to the director's cut? Does it apply to the theatrical cut? What does that 3 even mean? I have no idea unless I can, figure out what percentage of those people watched which cut of this. It's kind of a meaningless number.
Yeah, some movies they do. I know that like the Joss Whedon version of Justice League and the Zack Snyder version of Justice League both have their own entries, but those are like very different.
Debatably, this is very different.
I would agree with that. I mean, it's 25 minutes longer for one. So I mean, I feel like that makes it different enough alone, but pretty interesting. Not a lot of 5s or 1/2 stars on this, so which is atypical of pretty much any movie because it seems like all the new influx of people on Letterboxd just rate stuff either 5 stars or 1/2 star and nothing in between. So like, fucking up all the ratings.
I remember, the initial buzz for this movie, though, way back in the day before there was even, a concept of a director's cut for this, was exceedingly negative. Like, critically, I think there were a lot of those, 1/2 star reviews from your Eberts and your Ropers and stuff. People hated this movie at the time.
Yeah, that they did. I mean, the people involved, I think, hated this movie. David Fincher, even at the time, swore it off, said he hated making it, said he hates it, still to this day hates it, has not participated in any of the additional DVD stuff, didn't participate. Like I think that the original plan for that assembly cut was to call it a director's cut, but David Fincher didn't want to be involved, so they just took his notes from the time and that's how the assembly cut got made. So yeah, and then I just remember people hating it in general, which when you watch it, coming off of Aliens, which is such a James Cameron-y fist pump, oh my god, the hero saved the little girl, it's a happy movie, it's it's that kind of movie. Coming off of that, there's no chance anybody was going to like this because it is a fucking downer. It is wild how brave this movie is for just being yeah, fuck you. This is going to depress you.
Yeah. It's certainly very dark and very grim. I would argue maybe they made an overcorrection here because I mean, if you look at kind of the trajectory of the series, you got the first one. First one is centered around like space truckers. They're like kind of lovable losers. They're not like super powerful guys. They're not military. They're just kind of space truckers. They got some guns, but they're just space truckers. And they're up against this unstoppable force in their grubby little spaceship. Then Cameron flips it and he's like, well, what if the humans were unstoppable monsters? And we got these space marines that are just complete badasses to the point where you almost don't feel like they're even threatened by these aliens. Almost to the point where, it feels like they're squashing them like bugs a la Starship Troopers, and they're super clean, all chromed out space environments. And then for Fincher, he's like, okay, well then let's flip on Cameron and let's go real grubby. Forget space truckers. Let's have prisoners and you want to talk about underpowered. They're not going to have any weapons whatsoever. We just got dudes with scissors trying to take on aliens. And I think maybe that was an overcorrection towards because I agree, I especially agree, having rewatched Aliens this past week, I don't like Cameron's glossy approach to this franchise. I don't want the humans to feel super powerful, and I don't think that makes for an exciting movie in the Aliens franchise. But did Fincher go too far? Maybe I don't know. I think maybe he did.
Well, the Sigourney Weaver, in order to get her to come back, because she was really mad at Fox after the last one because they forced Cameron to cut a lot of the stuff about her being a mom and that whole subplot. In order to convince her to come back, they gave her A, bunch of money, and B, they promised her the two things that she wanted to happen in the script, which is no guns and that Ripley has to die. Spoiler alert. So the guns thing was kind of her thing. But I think, the rest of it, I think, was a lot of Fincher. There was a million different versions of this script before the final one. And two of them were competing around the same time, which is dudes on a prison planet. And then also Ripley crash lands on a planet where everybody's monks living on this weird wooden satellite. And so at the last minute, they kind of just smushed those two ideas together. And then Fincher came on and rewrote them and mashed them together, I think, basically. So yeah, I mean, to answer your question though, I mean, he does go really far back in the other direction, but that's Fincher. I mean, this is the Seven guy and the Fight Club guy, for God's sake. But also that's kind of the 90s too. The early 90s, at least. It was a grim time. And I think one of the things that they really wanted in one of the early drafts of Alien 3 is for the alien to be a metaphor. The alien's always a metaphor for rape. That's what the thing is, at least originally, not in Cameron's thing, where it's just a metaphor for having fun.
It's a metaphor for the victory of America.
Yeah. They really wanted the alien to be a metaphor for AIDS. And I think that it seems like that kind of got written out as time goes on, although I think it's still in here a little bit. And so I don't know, when that's the main thing you want in your movie, you're just not going to be able to have fun at all, I think. Maybe to a certain degree.
Unless we're dealing with an LA AIDS jabber.
Then it can be very fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I would much rather have a grim, horrifying, hopeless, nihilistic alien than the Cameron Aliens or the Joss Whedon-y Alien Resurrection or the Aliens versus Predator kind. But that's just me.
I agree. I mean, if that's the binary, I mean, my whole thing is I think that Ridley Scott just nailed it on the first go. I don't think any of the sequels, including Cameron's, come anywhere close to matching just the pure intensity. And it's just a perfect movie. It's crazy to watch that movie and think the special effects that they achieved in the 70s still look perfect. Like there's not a frame in the first Alien that is off in any way. I wouldn't change a single iota of it, but yeah, then it is just kind of like picking and choosing between what are the lesser evils of these sequels. And I agree, like, Cameron's, dopey approach is maybe entertaining when you're like 12 years old, but beyond that, it's kind of grating.
Yeah, I mean, I do respect, whenever a horror movie has a sequel that is like suddenly an action movie, like I always think that's like a real brave swing, and sometimes it works. Like sometimes you get Evil Dead 2, or sometimes you get Dream Warriors out of it. But yeah, sometimes you just take, like this very like H.P. Lovecraft unknowable monster, and then you turn it into a video game, and it's just like not as fun to me. But I can understand why other people would think that was the best one. I most certainly don't.
Yeah. It's like you took that guy from that Scream painting, that famous, what is it, Munch or whoever, the Scream.
Yep.
Incredible work of art or whatever with a memorable character, and you just took that character and then just threw him in some shitty Malibu comic book or something like that. To me, that's what James Cameron did, of like, oh, I identified all of the cool imagery that I love from this much more accomplished movie. Like, let me just steal that and throw it into a bubblegum scenario and just kind of trade off, the success that was built by Ridley Scott.
Yeah. And it is weird because he does do exactly that. Like the ending is like exactly the same, just bigger. Like the buildup is exactly the same, just with more people. Like it's a very similar movie. It just is an action movie instead of a horror movie.
Yeah. Yeah, with a chest burster scene that is not half as terrifying. And again, the effect somehow looks worse than the effect from the 70s.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen that second one. I watch some of the other ones more frequently.
I feel like it gets worse by the day. The the terrible compositing and especially like the blue screen type effects, when Ridley's like standing in front of any explosion in the movie and it looks like the most Neil Breen bullshit of all time.
Well, James Cameron did have unkind words to say about this film, Alien 3.
What did he say?
He felt that the killing of, what's his name, Hicks and Newt and Bishop was a slap in the face. Those are three characters that survived the last one. And then when we opened this movie up, we discovered that they died in between movies, like in their sleep, which is a move that I actually quite like because I don't want any space marines in here because, as we talked about, that kind of neutralizes the threat of the alien to have a big tough guy. So I'm fine with Hicks being dead. I think that's his name, Michael Baine's character.
Yeah.
And I'm especially fine with the little kid being dead because I don't want a fucking little kid in my horror movie. Like,
all these kids are pieces of shit.
Exactly. Like, I think it's dopey. It's real dopey. It's a James Cameron thing to be like, okay, I'm going to put a little kid in my gritty fucking sci-fi movie and we'll sell a bunch of toys and stuff, Edward Furlong toys. And I just think it's dopey. So yeah, I cannot blame David Fincher for just wanting to jettison those characters and start fresh, right? Like,
it's also kind of a long established horror maneuver, going back to Psycho and maybe even before that, of like you do the first act, surprise kill of somebody who you might think might be a main character in this, especially with Newt. I think people were really surprised.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, especially because they then open up her body and take a look for aliens. Like, it is pretty harrowing. Like, but I also think like the movie doesn't just like write them off. Like the whole first act of the movie is dealing with the deaths of these characters. So it's not like it's not like that Star Wars movie where like Daisy Ridley gives Luke Skywalker his lightsaber and he just like throws it off a mountain and he's just like, oh, I don't like that thing anymore. Like it's not like that. Like it is a storyline,
You do feel Fincher maybe reveling in this grossness, though. Like There's a shot when they come upon the ship, that's crashed, and they're finding the bodies. And they're not so much bodies that they're looking at as just like a jumble of organs and teeth. And it's real gross. That's like one of the gnarliest like crash scene images I've ever seen. Like even including like the Faces of Death movies. Like it's pretty gross.
I agree. It is gross. I mean, everything in this is just like hopeless. Like from that opening crash, and then they crash land on this planet that's just like overridden with lice. And so you see like all these bugs crawling on everybody all the time. And like even just like, they crash land on this entire planet that is a prison, and the prisoners have to keep this foundry going. But the foundry isn't serving any purpose. Like they say that it's been shut down for years, and these guys only exist there to like essentially like keep the pilot light on in case anybody ever comes back to it. But like that's like just so hopeless in itself. Like these guys are just keeping this thing on in perpetuity for no reason. Like everything in this movie is hopeless. It is and gross. It's wild.
Do you think the fact that they filmed this in England and the setting is supposed to be like a prison colony is some sort of commentary either on, the history of the British Empire or just the fact that it feels like you're in jail when you're in England?
I think maybe both. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell because like I said, like those two ideas were kind of like two separate like scripts for a while. Like they had like the prison colony script and then the monks script and then mashed them together. So it's kind of hard to tell what like kind of the final thing that they're trying to say in the script is with it. But yeah, I mean, that must be intentional, like a prison colony and then to set it or to film it in England and use all these English actors. Yeah, that must be intentional to some degree.
I do think that is maybe one of this movie's big missteps, though, is the setting. And I know that it maybe seems too obvious to set an alien movie on a spaceship, but I just think that would have been a much better play than putting this on a planet where in the establishing shots of the planet, we see that it's like, maybe it's not the nicest planet. Maybe the skies are a little bit gray, but it's got a breathable atmosphere. Like it doesn't seem all that dangerous outside. Like people can just walk around outside seemingly freely. So when you got this big alien terrorizing your jail, wouldn't you think the first thing you would do is just like step outside, maybe go down to the beach? We've established they're steps away from a gorgeous beach. Like it would be much more tense in a spaceship where you can't escape, right?
Well, I mean, the planet is crawling with lice.
Yeah.
So it is a little gross to leave.
It's gross to leave, sure. But that's all that Fincher can come up with in this movie is grossness, These people should be used to grossness by now.
Yeah. Well, I get the idea that maybe it's like Alcatraz, like they can leave, but it's like there's nothing out there. So then what's the end game, maybe?
Well, I think the end game is at least buy a couple days more of life while that alien terrorizes the jail, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, in the movie, the idea is that they have to wait in the jail for the Weyland-Yutani people to come and rescue them. So that's kind of like the ticking clock sort of scenario that we have.
Yeah, maybe go up on the roof or something, spell out the word help with blankets or whatever, like don't just chill in the sub-basement with the Xenomorph.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I do understand the idea of wanting to get it off of a spaceship. Although part 2 wasn't on a spaceship; it was on a planet too.
Yeah, it's mostly on a planet.
Yeah, I kind of like Prison World. I don't know. I like how nihilistic it is, and
could be a prison ship though, is what I'm saying. Same exact, like it looks exactly the same. You just cut that one scene where they show the exterior at the beginning. Where she is on the beach or whatever.
Yeah, maybe they couldn't do that because then they would have to resist the urge to knock the alien out of the airlock and repeat the endings of the last 2 movies.
Yeah, I guess so.
So on this planet, it's all dudes. many of which are religious because they've been on this planet, and that's all they've got on this prison planet. This is the first time they've seen a lady in many, many years. And Charles Dance is like the doctor, and he hangs out with Ridley most of the time. He plays a guy named Clements. He's in Game of Thrones. You probably know him. He's in Last Action Hero. He's that scary guy.
I know the Dance Man.
Yeah, he's very good. I feel like he may be the one remaining part of this movie that's a metaphor for AIDS, because Ripley is very horny and has sex with him. And then he dies
Next
right
thing you
afterwards.
know, he's boning this chick.
Yeah. And then he's also the first to get killed by the alien. So I think that metaphor is still kind of in this movie a little bit.
That's only because Xenomorphs are huge Friday the 13th fans.
I think that's also true. But yeah, this movie looks very good, I feel like. The sets are cool. It's very moody.
Yeah, it looks great. And I think actually the look of this movie, as good as it is maybe one of the reasons people didn't like it at the time. Because I think that this movie must look like absolute garbage on VHS. It's all these like kind of low contrast browns and grays, and it's a very sludgy color palette that I'm sure didn't translate to videotape. And then, Fincher's using all of these very wide angle shots. The one that I'm thinking of is on that beach when Tywin Lannister picks up Ripley from the beach, and then he's like bringing her back to the jail. You get this super wide shot. It's like a Lawrence of Arabia type thing of him going across the beach. And it looks great in widescreen, but I'm sure it would just look like complete trash in 4:3.
Yeah, there's one really cool shot where like they're searching around the prison, and like the entire screen's like black, and then in the very corner of the screen, like a door opens, and then the guys like walk through with their little flashlights, and it's really amazing. Like it's a great use of the space, and it shows you like how big this place is. But I imagine that in 4:3, those guys were probably just cropped out completely.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
And if you compare this movie to like Cameron's movie, it's so much brighter, aliens, and so much, everything's crisp and clear, and like I can see why in the video era, like you would think that this movie looks like crap. It probably did look like crap then,
Yeah, I think it looks good now though.
Yeah, it's got those pixels.
Got a lot of pixels. There's a lot of cool like camera stuff going on here. Like, I mean, I think probably like the one of a couple of scenes that everybody knows from this movie is like the scene where they're like getting the alien to chase them and then like locking it into different rooms, and you get like kind of like almost Evil Dead vision.
Yeah, it's like a
POV.
Tilt shifted POV type shot where they got that special lens in there that makes everything look crooked.
Yeah. That stuff's very fun.
I think they use that same lens though to shoot some of the explosion footage. And I don't know why they did that, but it makes the explosions look really distorted and weird and bad. So not all of the visual decisions, were successes in my mind.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the most visual failure in this movie is that they decide to film a few scenes with the alien in CG. And for 1992, I'm sure it probably looked pretty good, but it looks deeply bad now. It looks like Flash animation. It looks like Tim and Eric stuff.
Well,
those scenes now.
Yeah, so I was trying to figure out what that stuff was, because I don't think it is CG. I know what you're talking about. It's basically anytime the alien is like moving around, like walking around the screen.
Yeah.
And I think what that is they filmed a puppet against like a black background, and then they did a composite to like lay it in there. But whatever they did, it looks like an abomination. And again, like going back to 1979, original Alien, flawless. The effects are incredible. It looks like an actual Xenomorph would look.
Yeah.
And then you see this and it's like, what?
Yeah, well, that's what makes it extra upsetting, is because the actual Like most of it, 90% of the time when they show the alien, like it's just a practical, huge rubber monster suit alien. And it looks great. But then every once in a while, like they'll do like a weird cut where it's like climbing up a wall and it's the puppet thing and it looks very bad. And it's like most of the time those shots aren't even necessary. Like
completely
you just cut
unnecessary.
them and there's nothing.
Yeah. And you would improve the movie by not trying to achieve these shots that you just can't achieve, you know? And yeah, that's a big problem with this movie.
Yeah.
Because it undercuts all of the tension when you're watching a movie where you're supposed to be scared of the monster and then the monster is literally laughable. Like you're actually laughing at it. You can't take it seriously as a horror movie anymore.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, it's especially upsetting because those are very like pretty few and far between, those shots of it like that. Like it's usually they'll have like one or two shots of it for every scary scene, but it's like very quick, so it's like, it's not a lot of that thing, but it's always at inopportune times. So you notice it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not so good. And then I think there is a little bit of actual CG in the assembly cut, maybe, that was like finished later, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there's some weird stuff in the assembly cut. I watched the special edition, which is basically the assembly cut, but I think like a couple
what?
minutes.
Wait, what? There's a third version of this?
There's a third version.
Huh.
It is, I mean, I think it's essentially the assembly cut. It's like 2 minutes shorter than the assembly cut, basically. It's on, I rented it on Vudu or Fandango or whatever they call it now. Yeah, but I think it's essentially the assembly cut, but
weird.
But yeah, there's some weird things in there where like there's one scene especially where like Charles S. Dutton, who is amazing in this movie, his performance is great, where he's like hyping up all the prisoners to fight the alien with their like sticks and scissors and stuff, and like you could tell they just didn't have like cleaned up audio because like there's like a bunch of like digital distortion and stuff under everybody's voices, and like a lot of the voice tracks sound like they were recorded in different places and stuff like that. And I can see why you would leave that scene in. At least I assume that it's not in the normal theatrical cut. It's been a long time since I've seen that. But because it's like a really great scene where it's like you now understand why these guys would go out of their way to fight this alien because they're being hyped up by their religious leader. But it also is a little janky. So yeah, I think there's probably some janky stuff left in those special edition cuts.
So what is your history then with this movie? I'm assuming you saw it originally in that original cut on home video? Indeed I did. And then this is your first time seeing an extended version?
It is actually, yeah.
Okay.
I watched when I was in 4th grade or something. My parents bought a big screen TV, which back in those days, a big screen TV was like those like huge TVs that use like projection,
Yeah. I remember those. They would be like 4 feet deep.
Yeah, this thing was monstrous. It was like 5 feet wide and 4 feet deep and 7 feet tall or some craziness. And the first movie we watched the day that we bought that TV was this movie.
Wow.
So I have fond memories of it. And I was like 10 years old or something at the time. And so, yeah, all those, like, we were just like marveling at all those scenes where like the POV shots where you're running through the corridors. We thought that was like the craziest thing we've ever seen in a movie in our lives. And yeah, so I mean, I have fond memories. I feel like I watched it a few times as a kid and really enjoyed it. And then just kind of like, didn't really ever return to it until I think like I watched it when I began realizing that David Fincher was like one of my favorite directors. Like I rewatched it and I was like, this movie's fine. I guess it's like a fine prototype for a David Fincher. And then he got better. But you can see like a lot of David Fincher in this. Like I said, you can see the stuff that would become Seven, like the grim nihilism and stuff like that. And like the the dirtiness in Fight Club and stuff. So it does feel like a Fincher movie still to me. And yeah, I liked it. I liked it a bit, but I thought it was like fine at the time. And then watching it this time, I don't know if it was just that I've come around to it or the assembly cut. I thought this was pretty fun, pretty good movie. I think certainly not like any kind of like, I wouldn't go to bat and be like, oh, this is actually like the best Alien movie or like this is actually, some kind of masterpiece. But I think it's better than a lot of people give it credit for, I think.
You love that original.
I like the original very much. I think the first like 15 minutes of it are pretty boring, but the original is by far the best Alien movie, I would say.
I think, a boring opening 15 in a horror movie is not such a bad thing sometimes.
Well, yeah, that's true. And especially in that movie, I get it. They're establishing that they're way far out in the middle of nowhere. And
yeah,
I get
their boring ass routine for months,
Yeah, I get the purpose of it. I don't know. Yeah. But I mean, that's really like the only like gripe I have with that movie. Everything else about it's perfect.
I agree with you that I think the assembly cut helps this movie quite a bit because, I remember seeing this originally when I was a kid and coming into it with the knowledge that everybody hated it. And maybe that kind of colored my expectation. But I remember as a kid being like, well, this is not so bad and like kind of enjoying it. And then coming back to this in my 20s and being very underwhelmed by it. But I think I was still watching the theatrical cut back then. And this being the first time that I saw, this extended cut, it all made a lot more sense to me now. It felt like a much more complete movie where, the original felt kind of ramshackled and I didn't really know who these characters were or what their motivations are. This one puts in a lot more about what's happening with these prisoners and their struggles and their motivations. I think it might actually, again, have gone too far in that direction in terms of this extended cut. I think it maybe introduces too many minor subplots and like the movie doesn't seem to know which characters are important and which are just supposed to be side characters. So like a little bit more focus there might be nice, but I'll take that, I'll take the shaggy dog over, the movie that it feels like nothing is really happening in, which is kind of what I felt like all these years, was like, interesting movie, but nothing really happens in it. Then you watch it extended, you're like, well, actually, there's a lot of stuff here, that whole part where they capture the alien in that little, steel containment area. And then he escapes because the one dude is, like a psychopath and lets him free. That's interesting stuff that's completely missing from that theatrical cut.
Yeah. And I feel like that scene really plays into like the original take from the first one that the alien is like this sort of cosmic Lovecraftian thing. Like, so, like the fact that, in this one, in part 3, it's causing that guy to kind of go insane and help it feels very, very Lovecraftian, very, very spooky. Just the fact that this alien is so scary, you're going to lose your fucking mind about it, I think is just always a scary idea.
Yeah, I like that. And, I like, just the whole flow of it. It feels like an actual movie again. But that's in contrast, I think, to the other two movies where I got to say, I prefer the theatrical cut of Alien and I prefer the theatrical cut of Aliens. So
yeah,
this was the first time where I'm like, you know what, that extra footage was warranted.
Yeah, some of the changes in the assembly cut are like kind of weird too. I'm not sure why they happened. Like in the theatrical, the alien is birthed from one of the guy's pet dogs, and then in the assembly cut, it was birthed through like one of the like buffaloes or whatever that they had for meat on the planet. And I'm not sure why the studio would make them change that necessarily. It seems like a weird change, but
especially to change it to a dog. Like you would understand maybe the inverse of like they feel like, oh, people are sensitive about violence against pets or whatever, and they don't want to see a dog get murdered. could you change it to a cow or something? Everybody loves eating cows. Nobody's going to give a shit about a cow dying on screen. But they went the other way. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's very odd.
And it does kind of change the whole movie, like, because there is only one alien in this. There's one xenomorph through the entire thing. And for my entire life up until this past week, that alien was a dog alien. That's how I always viewed it as, oh yeah, the dog alien. Turns out motherfucker was a bull alien the entire time. I didn't know.
Yeah. You would maybe get a hint of that because there was a toy line for this movie. Oddly enough, despite it being the most nihilistic rated R movie of all time. And one of the xenomorphs was a bull xenomorph. Like, it even had horns and stuff. It looked a lot like a bull. And I had that toy as a kid. So if you played with those toys, you might be aware that there was a bull xenomorph somewhere out there. But yeah, this alien does look a little bit different than the other ones. It's a little like less sexy. It's a little grosser. It's like kind of more gray. It's like got holes in it in weird places.
Yeah.
So
not the most incredible xenomorph design, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I like the slickness of the original.
Yeah, and I feel like later on we would maybe get some more specialized ones that looked kind of interesting, but this is just kind of like slightly different than our typical Xeno. Yeah. One of the other big changes is in the very end, right?
I think so. I think the ending is a little bit different.
Well, there's the spoiler alert for Alien 3. We're going to talk about the very last thing that happens in this, and I guess you've probably already seen it, but Ripley self-sacrifices and throws herself into the lava pit or whatever. Mm-hmm. And in one version, a chest burster pops out of her chest, and in the other, it does not happen.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Now I'm trying to remember which is which.
It does not pop out in the special edition I watched.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's what I remember as well. So she gets kind of more of a peaceful ending to her life, I guess, in the special cut versus in the OG. You get that chest bursting.
Yeah. Yeah, which, yeah, that makes sense. And I mean, like, there's like a lot of like religious stuff in here. So her, like, yeah, I feel like they're kind of like doing Jesus imagery because like she falls off with her arms spread and stuff. Yeah. So it makes a bit more sense to have her die peacefully than have your Jesus character.
I don't know. This is a horror movie, right? Let's get a chest burster in there. I mean, if the choice is between bursting chests and not bursting them, I'm bursting those chests every time in a horror movie.
Yeah. Maybe I'll rewatch that scene in the OG one and see how I feel. But yeah, I guess having them locked in eternal struggle as they die, Ripley and the alien, is also a good move.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also like that they cover this alien, like the big alien. They cover him in molten lava, or not lava, molten lead. And he just shrugs it off. And that's very scary. And then they douse him with cold water and he explodes. I like the way that they dispatch him in this.
I like it in theory. I do think the exploding xenomorph doesn't look nearly as cool as they thought it would. Like,
I agree.
And I know, everybody wants to explode a xenomorph on screen, but it takes a lot of skill, I think.
Yeah, I agree. How do you feel about Bishop number 2 when he shows up?
I mean, any excuse to put Lance Henriksen in a movie, sign me up. I think every movie could use a lot more of that guy. I legitimately love him, and he's really good in this. It's so fun to see in such a short amount of screen time all of the emotions that guy can convey. And, at first you maybe feel kind of excited to see him. And actually he gets the earlier part too, where I guess it's maybe mostly a prosthetic that's doing the performance, but I guess his voice is tied to that rubbery melted face of his. But to see the new Bishop come in and you're kind of excited, and then he pretty clearly, pretty quickly is like, an evil guy. And He's great. I don't know. I really like Lance, and it's fun to see this version of him in this, this evil mastermind.
Yeah, he's great. He's a good actor. He really sells like that scene where they bring Bishop back to ask him some questions. And yeah, it is a really good prosthetic robot thing
Yeah.
with his voice. Like he sells it. Like he's like
It's sad.
Yeah, very much so. Like Ripley brings him back because she needs to ask questions about like what happened on the ship when they were asleep. And he's just like telling her that he's in pain and he wants to be, turned off permanently. And it's like so sad, especially for like a robot to be saying this. Cause usually you get robots that don't feel pain, like the Terminator, it's like he lowers himself into the lava. He's giving you a thumbs up. He doesn't feel it. He doesn't care, but this robot feels pain and he wants to die. And it's heartbreaking.
It's kind of weird in that scene that it feels like Ripley's not invested emotionally at all. Like she's very cold in that scene. Like, she just kind of switches him off at the end to kill him with like kind of no reaction. And I get that you're trying to like maybe convey that she's on a mission or, she's focused on the task at hand or something, but
she's also racist against robots.
Well, okay, yeah, that's fair. That is fair. But don't you feel like she had developed an affinity, at least for Bishop, by the end of the last movie?
I do think so, yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just overly sensitive to people slighting Lance Henriksen.
That could be. But yeah, she's always like kind of cold to those robots. And I mean, Ripley's just kind of a cold character anyway when she's hanging out with people who aren't Newt.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lance Henriksen's great in this. I love that effect where like he gets hit with that lead pipe at the end and his like half of his face and his ear just like kind of hanging off. I think that's so creepy.
I think that shot is new to this version as well. I don't think that was in the theatrical.
Yeah, I think so. Like it's been a while since I've seen the theatrical, but that seemed surprising to me and new. Yeah. Oh, one thing I did want to ask. It's been a while since I've watched the first two. The scene in this where like that iconic scene where the alien gets all up in Ripley's face and then like the little alien tongue guy comes out, and like she's screaming or like not screaming, but she's like terrified and bald,
Yeah.
Is that hearkening back to something that happens in either of the first two, or is that wholly original for this movie?
I'm pretty sure that almost the same exact shot happens in the first movie.
Okay.
Right?
I don't know. Yeah,
I believe that happens towards the end of the first movie.
Okay. I did not remember that. It's a very effective scene. Either way.
Don't quote me on that. You would think I would remember having just seen both of them in the past week, but I can never be sure with this guy.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, yeah, I just watched the first one in like February and I don't remember. So, yeah, but if not, if it is original to this movie, pretty wild that like the iconic image of the Alien franchise is from this movie, I would say, right? Except for maybe, I guess, the chest burster coming out. But like outside of that, like, that's like you get a lot of like parody movie posters, which is that scene of like the alien face next to Ripley. Like, I think that there's a new Alien Romulus poster that is recreating that. Like, so hopefully that's original for this movie, because it's the iconic alien image. And I like that David Fincher made the iconic alien image.
It could be. I mean, there's really no way to be sure.
I'll have to rewatch him.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best bet.
Yeah. Well, all right. You got anything else about Alien 3?
I mean, overall, I enjoyed this more than I expected. I do think if it's been a while since you've seen it, definitely check out that special edition and or assembly cut. I think it looks like they are pretty much the same. It's not a perfect movie. I still got plenty of complaints. But I can only praise David Fincher for his restraint in resisting the temptation that I'm sure he must have felt in that he did not layer this entire movie with songs from Soundgarden or Alice in Chains. Like, this could have had a really terrible grunge music soundtrack, and it doesn't. It's got a classic kind of orchestral type score, and some fun thrills. You know, it is a shame about those horrendous shots of the Xenomorph running around.
Yeah.
Maybe there will be yet another special edition of this movie where they just cut out those shots. You don't need them.
Yeah.
And honestly, that would maybe even bump this movie up like a half-star rating or something. But as it stands, I think I like this a little more than Cameron's movie. And that's not just me trying to be, antagonistic or, contrary. I think this is a cool movie that tried to do something different with the Alien franchise, as seemingly all of them do. And it succeeded in some ways that I think were not appreciated for a long time.
Yeah. I agree. I think even if you love Aliens, like, you have to admit that this is like a more interesting movie. Like, Aliens is just like fun and gloss and fireworks and stuff, but this movie's more, it's got a lot more to say. There's a lot more to dig into here, even if some of it doesn't succeed. And,
Kevin Moss, does Kevin Moss have any thoughts on this, you think?
I don't know. I hope so.
Well, Kevin Moss, what do you think?
Why are they fighting Dracula, for God's sakes?
Kevin, what movie are you watching, man?
He didn't watch the right one.
Yeah, he watched the unassembled cut, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, that wraps it up for Alien 3. A reasonable film. A movie you might like a little bit more if you watch the much longer version. A lot of good British guys, too. If you like British guys, there's a whole shitload of them in this movie.
And I know you do.
I kind of do. I mean, I kind of like everybody in this cast. Also, what's his face? Ralph Brown is in this. He's really good. He's the roadie from Wayne's World 2. That's what I know him from. He's really good in this stuff. He's also in With Nail and I, but I don't care about that.
You know what guy I'm always thinking about is, in Wayne's World, they're driving around, the Bohemian Rhapsody scene. There's two other guys, or is it 3 guys in the back seat? And there's the one guy that's hurling into the little Dixie cup. You know that guy?
Yeah.
Remember him? If you're going to spew in this.
Yeah, there's that guy. Yeah.
What's up with those guys, and especially the Spew Man? Is he still working? Can I find the Spew Man on screen anywhere? Is he still spewing into Dixie cups?
Spew Man's probably around. I know that one of those guys is Lee Tergesen, who played Chet in the Weird Science TV show.
Oh, yeah. That's right. And he's got cool long hair in Wayne's World.
Yeah. And then another guy's a character actor that shows up in stuff from time to time. But Lee Tergesen's great. I love him in Weird Science, so I always like seeing him. I know he's still around. He still does stuff from time to time.
Oh, yeah. From Oz.
Yeah.
I remember him in Oz.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Lee Tergesen, he was on a few episodes of Blue Bloods this year, so good for him.
Yeah, get that money.
Anyways.
Yeah. So what about us? Will we be getting money next week? Will we be watching a movie? If so, what kind of movie?
We will be watching something either from 1981 or 1985, and whether it's 81 or 85 is going to depend on your pick of one of those years. What year sounds good to you, 81 or 85?
Well, I'm a little disappointed that the movie's not from 2024. We're both going to be hitting the theaters this week. I thought we could keep our marathon going, but
is it like that? I mean, if you want, we could.
I mean, it's up to you. It's totally you. I don't want to influence your decisions here, but
okay, all right. Let's do that. We can do that. I'll do that. That's easy.
You want to do that kind of thing? I mean, if your heart was set on something, I don't want to dissuade you, but if we're both going to be seeing it.
Well,
everybody's going to be seeing it.
The 81, the 81 was a journey to the center of the earth, and the 85 was a journey to the center of the earth.
Are you being for real with me right now?
Yeah, but you don't have to worry about those because we will be watching Alien Romulus.
Oh my God. I will.
It's the official pick.
I'm glad we're watching Alien. Now I'm glad. I was like kind of sad that you're going to be like, oh, Ichi the Killer. Fine. Old boy. Finally one of these movies you haven't seen. Something like that. But yeah, if it's just Journey to the Center of the Earth, then I'm glad we're watching Alien Romulus.
Although, from what I've heard, early critic reviews are coming in saying Gertrude the Goose is a huge part of this Alien Romulus. Gertrude's all over it. They got that some kind of Icelandic tour guide character as well that everybody loves.
Well, for the record, I would have picked 1985. So
okay, it was not actually a journey. It was Half Nelson, the cop show starring Joe Pesci that has a 90-minute long pilot from 1985, where the whole premise of the show is. Isn't it funny that there's a policeman who is as short as Joe Pesci? And his last name is Nelson. So all the other cops call him Half Nelson and just make fun of his height for 90 minutes.
Okay. Well, now I think maybe you're going batso because maybe I would want to watch that.
You'll never know because we're watching Alien Romulus. See, I tricked you. It was double reverse psychology to get you to pick the movie that I wanted to watch, which is Alien Romulus.
Now, I feel like you might be right. I feel like maybe I was manipulated here the whole time.
It was all a scheme. It was a cunning ruse.
All right. Alien Romulus.
You got your tickets already?
I do, yeah.
Finally. I've been asking you this for months.
Well, when I bought them yesterday, and I'm going tomorrow night at 7 p.m., and they were the only 2 tickets sold.
I know, dude. It's going to bomb. What the fuck happened? The Chinese theater, I'm going on Friday night, and it was like, I don't know, like 15 tickets sold or something last time I checked. It's insane. Oh, wow. And that's like a huge auditorium.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, horror movies usually do well, too. It's surprising. Like, there's been a bunch of horror movie hits recently. And there's like not really like much competition. Deadpool's been out for like 3 or 4 weeks now, and nothing else has really come out. So yeah, it's surprising. I kind of figured this might be kind of a hit, but it doesn't seem like it will be.
Trailer looked good, and they've been playing that trailer before every movie, it seems like, and maybe the lack of famous people was their downfall. I don't know, but
could be. I mean, people like Fetty. I mean, as much as we don't like that Evil Dead remake, I mean, people do love it. Like, I feel like saying that it's the same director as that, it's probably bound to pull people into the theaters. That's Fetty Alvarez. They love, yeah.
Maybe it's going to be a lot of walk-up business.
Could be. I mean, even if we hate it, I hope it does well. I would like to see more aliens and more horror movies in the theater.
Yeah. Who wouldn't? You have to be a real Grinch to not enjoy the prospect of more xenomorphs on screen.
Yeah. Especially with no Ridley Scott involvement, for God's sake. Finally, get that son of a bitch out of here.
Come on, man. Let's not be rude. Are you getting that the special popcorn bucket? Is it on your bucket list?
I don't know. Is it only AMC that's doing that?
I don't know. You know what? Like, every time there's a movie that comes out, I see all this shit about popcorn buckets online. People are talking about it like it's some big thing. And then I've never seen any of these in the wild at any movie theater I've ever been to. As far as I know, they're just fake memes generated by ChatGPT.
Could be. I did get that fancy Furiosa cup, but that's like the only fancy thing I've ever seen. I never see like
a soda cup you're talking.
Yeah, it's like a cup
I see those all day long.
Yeah, well, it's like a little fancy. The lid like flips out and it kind of looks like a gun or something. Like it's a little bit extravagant. But yeah, I never saw the like the Wolverine popcorn head or like the fucking sandworm or anything like that. I didn't get any of that.
Yeah. I guess there's going to be a cool one for Beetlejuice as well, but again, I probably won't end up seeing it anywhere.
Yeah.
That's going to suck though, right? Have we all turned the corner on that's going to be really bad?
I think so. I mean, Tim Burton's done some good stuff. I would love for him to be back at it and like make good movies again, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, the trailers have not left me hopeful.
Yeah. And there's no Jeffrey Jones, and he's the best part.
I mean, it's unfortunate given his track record in life, but he is really good in those movies, in Beetlejuice and even in Howard the Duck and all those 80s movies. I always did. Ferris Bueller. He's a funny guy.
Mom and Dad Save the World. He's always good. So it sucks that he's a creep.
Even in Stay Tuned.
Yeah, man, that guy's a fucking good actor. Sucks that he fucking touched all those kids.
Yeah. What a bummer. It's our loss, really. We're the true victims when you think about it.
I think so. The way that this has affected us much deeper than anyone else.
It really... I'm not even going to make the joke about what it did to my childhood, but I think you get it. I think you get the point.
I think so.
No.
That's right.
Well, on that note, send us some voicemails. 347-746-JUNK. That's 347-746-5865. Let us know how you feel about the Alien movies. Give us your rankings. Also, give us your rankings of the Alien movies. Let us know how you feel about Alien Romulus. We know you're going this weekend. Also, go to facebook.com/junkfordinner and hit the call now button. That's another way to send us voicemails. Also, go to the Discord. There's links out there. You message us. We'll send you the link.
Also, go to patreon.com/junkfordinner. That is a place where you can go to give us a couple of dollars if you like what we do. If you like that we've been doing it for 17,000 years, you can give us a couple of dollars to thank us. Or if you like David Lynch, and you want to hear us talk about Twin Peaks, we did something like 35 episodes of The Bookhouse Boys, which is our Twin Peaks review and recap podcast that may be renewed for a second season.
Yeah, with some pretty exciting new cast members.
Yeah. Could be very interesting what happens with the next season of The Bookhouse Boys. So go and donate a couple of dollars. You can listen to that. In addition to that, even if you don't like Twin Peaks, there are almost 100 bonus episodes that we've recorded throughout the years with a young Kevin Moss. So for a mere $5, you get a shitload of bonus stuff. So go check that out if you would.
Okay, we're back.
and next week, we're going to be talking about Alien Romulus. So join us then. In the meantime, this is Parker for Sean saying thanks for having fun.